because people think it's the same lecture.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We'll carry on inshallah Surah Al-Baqarah, rules on divorce, and here it's talking today inshallah about rules when a woman loses her husband. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَالَّذِينَ يُتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ أَرْبَعَةَ أَشْهُرٍ وَعَشْرًا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فلا جناح عليكم فيما فعلن في أنفسهن بالمعروف والله بما تعملون خبير. So here Allah Azza wa Jalla said, talking in what means in English, and if any of you die and leaves widows, here he actually used any of you die and leave widows behind, used as a plural, isn't it? If any of you, or does it give the impression of singular? Plural.
Yeah.
Plural. Leave widows. So it could be one person dies and he has 3 wives, so there will be the 3 widows. Marwan, before we forget, can you close that curtain over there? We're not supposed to be seen from there. Yeah, Jazakallah khair. They shall not wait. They shall wait concerning themselves 4 months and 10 days. When they have fulfilled their terms, there is no blame on you if they dispose of themselves in a just and reasonable manner. I don't know why he used disposed, while here ما فعلنا, do, whatever they do. فعل is do, whatever they do with themselves. So disposed, carry on, I don't know, doesn't seem to me the right verb. If they do whatever they want with themselves, marry, not marry, travel, whatever. And Allah is well acquainted with what you do. When you listen to the tafsir, Imam Sha'rawi, rahimahullah, may Allah bless him, so he said that الذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا, again يتربصن, they will be waiting, like, you know. And I met quite few who actually going through iddah, and it's a bit restricting. They just wait anxiously for the end of iddah, whether it is talaq, divorce, or whether it is wafa, death. But here they have to wait for 4 months and 10 days. And أربعة أشهر وعشرة. وعشرة here, for those learning Arabic, could have been عشرة ليال, while he said عشرا, because got it short, because Sha'rawi think that's because the day starts from the sunset, so it is عشرة ليال. It's not أيام. أيام is a female and ليل is male, and so it is عشرا and not عشرة. And also أربعة أشهر.
What's أيام?
أيام days.
Oh.
Yeah. ليال nights. والفجر وليال عشر, 10 days. I'm still waiting for people to tell me what are the rest of the 10 days. We found 7 days, important days. أربعة أشهر, 4 months. And he is longer than the iddah of following the divorce, and it's month, not quru. So it's deliberately Allah Azza wa Jal wanted it to be month and Arabic month, lunar month. This is why he used ashran. If he said ashrata, could be days of the solar month. While here Sha'rawi, he thought that it is to mean it's lunar month, which is around 2 days, sometimes shorter than the solar month. So you end having definitely less than 60 days, 70 days for the divorce. Why the divorce, this period is important? We mentioned that before, which is more likely to be Muhammad Azam. I have sent my questionnaire on marriage to my student, and 10 out of 40 scored 10 out of 10. I've sent it to some adults and they didn't score 10 out of 10. So we need to start sending you questionnaires to confirm the information, because we spoke about this before. I didn't actually realize how really important the bereavement time. The bereavement period has to be really long enough, 4 months and 10 days in Islam. And in psychiatry, they take 3 months, 4 months will be normal bereavement. But when it's stretched to 8 months and 1 year, they start thinking of pathological bereavement. It's not norm. It's not actually that this lady is not grieving correctly, so she's not able to. Some of them unable to sort out his belongings, unable to sort out his, shoes and underwear and washing and things. They have difficulty. So Allah knows best. And 4 أشهر و10 is long enough for a lady who lost her support. Could be support, financial support from the husband, or could be physical support, psychological support, all sort of support, not to rush into marrying somebody else. Because some could be, especially when there is divorce, sometimes besides feeling at risk or vulnerable, but they also sometimes want to take revenge, show they are pretty enough to be snapped by other gentlemen. So they rush into getting married to say, look, you don't want me? 10 waiting outside in the queue. So Allah wants them to wait and think about it and study the things. And فَإِذَا بَلَغْنَا أَجَلَهُنَّ, so he stressed again, they must finish the iddah. بَلَغْنَا, the date of 4 months and 10 days, then you are not to be blamed. Why Allah expect us to be blamed? It's her life and she's do whatever she wants to do with her life. Because again, لا جناح عليكم فيما فعلنا في أنفسهن. You're not, even her father become like, not nam.
I mean, my understanding, because the men are supposed to, the family members, they are supposed to look after her when she's in Iddah. So she is actually dependent on, so that's why they are not to be blamed once she has finished Iddah, because she is supposed to live in the same house and everything.
Are you saying that you are not to be blamed if they do whatever they want to do with themselves according to the norm, بالمعروف, what's known to be normal, accept? But why you have to be blamed? Why we have? Because he's used here the plural. ولا جناح عليكم. Yeah, before I get the ayah.
Because that's what I was saying. My understanding, because it's the responsibility of the family members to look after her.
But he said جناح عليكم, all the believers. He didn't say the family. Because the father could be dead, the brother could be dead. It's time,
Is it because after that it's her choice in terms of the marriage?
After that, you are still responsible. Because he's saying here, فَإِذَا بَلَغْنَا أَجَلَهُنَّ, after they finished the iddah. Imam Sha'rawi, he quoted this ayah. مؤمنون بعضهم أولياء بعض. I'm trying to find out. There's a lot of.
She doesn't have wali anymore after that.
I didn't know there's so many awliya in the Quran. That all the believers are the guardians of all the believers. بعضهم أولياء بعض. Let me put another word. Yeah, this is the ayah. والمؤمنون والمؤمنات بعضهم أولياء بعض. So what he's saying, Imam Sha'rawi, rahimahullah, that it's a responsibility and the duty of every believing men and women to be the guardian of the other believing men and women. يأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر. So the believers, men and women, are the protectors one of another. So you need to be careful that, you advise her, you're not supposed to go and marry Christian or Jew, you're not supposed to, go out provocatively dressed or whatever. So they get advice. So Allah will put the responsibility on us, all of us, men and women, to make sure that all of us behave well. So we guard the interest of each other. لذلك I say فلا جناح عليكم as a plural, and nothing to do with fathers and mothers or brothers or whatever. Usually the next of kin do actually keep an eye that the person is behaving. But here, make sure that whatever they do with themselves is they do it correctly. And this froze, I think. Let's see what's happening here. I have to close and open again. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِيمَا عَرَّضْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْ خِطْبَةِ النِّسَاءِ أَوْ أَكْنَنْتُمْ فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ. Now Allah Azza wa Jalla, knowing that the lady is going through a risky period, vulnerable period, then He banned her from getting married and banned everybody else, males, of proposing. Like Hajj, you can't propose to marry. Why Allah Azza wa Jalla made iddah on women, not men? Or men go through bereavement. Challenging questions. Because they need to meet Muslims and non-Muslims need to really have an answer. Yeah?
I mean, one probable reason is medical as well.
Medical reason.
So
Gynecological, I mean. Obstetric, gynecological reason, yeah?
that they do have some, like the DNA, genetic material changes are there, which in 4 months' time, it says that all of those changes are gone. So
You mean because they have hormonal changes, they are vulnerable to changes of mood or something?
And then that takes that long for those to change. I read it as kind of a paper on that. So that's one of the medical reasons.
You mean medical reason cause them to do what? To become depressed or vulnerable or?
Vulnerable as well, but also that they have got from the previous husband, they have got genetic material, which if they wait for that long, would be disappear.
They get from the husband genetic material. Yeah. Like what?
So husband, because they're...
The prostaglandin. Did they mention prostaglandin in that article?
Not prostaglandin, but they... the sperms actually, some of that genetic material get deposits in the female genital organs, in the reproductive organs.
But they didn't name any specific hormone. I read articles about prostaglandin being affected.
Prostaglandin, but I didn't know exactly which one.
Yeah, if you have a look again, I would be interested to know.
So that's one of the things. And the other thing is that a men's brain and men's psychology is much different to the women. as we were talking about the other day, the men actually think like boxes, and the women actually brain thinks where everything is connected. So their psychology is different.
Yeah, the thing is that women remember automatically what happened from the day of the engagement till today. So that could be very live in the memory after he died. Yeah.
And men can compartmentalize things easily.
Yeah.
So in their psychology, so they can
And forget about it.
So that's one. And then because another thing I can think of is because men are supposed to be outgoing and working, and they've got many more
men outgoing working. Now most women go and work and things.
But I'm talking about like traditionally, so they are easy to get distracted and get back to their normal life, as compared to a woman who's in the house. She's a housewife and she's not going out, so that would be difficult for her. But that's some of the things which I can think of.
I don't know what happened if you are working in Britain and a woman and her husband died. I haven't heard of something called 4 months, 10 days bereavement or grieving holiday or leave. I don't know what they do because they go to work very quickly, isn't it?
They just get compassionate leave.
But it's not 4 months and 10 days. It will be 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
What they do, they normally they go to work. So it's like they go to work because they have to, but in the house they don't receive.
They don't mix socially. You mean they go and work?
At the work is something. No, so it's more of a public.
Yeah, it's allowed in Islam. If she is, if she is a breadwinner and she is no source of income and she needs to go to work or go shopping.
Yeah, when she goes to the house, socially, they don't mix.
What I don't know whether she allowed to go to visit the husband's grave, because some do, while it's not a necessary things. So, وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ. Obviously, the woman more likely to have the children, the woman more likely to be more vulnerable financially, more likely more vulnerable physically, need protectors and things, and they terrify if somebody knock on the door, and usually the husband goes, and some hard job in the work. But here, you're not allowed to propose. وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِيمَا عَرَّضْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْ خُطْبَةِ النِّسَاءِ. You cannot actually go and ask to marry the lady, but there is no harm for you if you hint about wanting to marry her. You say, don't worry, I mean, many people will love to marry you, you will be a brilliant woman in the house, will be, I'll be somebody who will be interested in somebody like this and things, just hinting. So the Prophet ﷺ, one of the Sahaba, he said to her, when you finish the iddah, contact me. I think Salama it was, wasn't it? Yeah, when you finish your iddah, when Abu Salama died, he said, when you finish your iddah, contact me. And the Prophet ﷺ married her. محمد أعطيه شو بده أعطيه هي البسكوتة أعطيه هي فاضية هيك خذ هيك كاستي بلاش for free. So ولا جناح عليكم فيما عرضتم به من خطبة النكاح. There's no blame if you make an offer. It's not an offer, a hint here. Not an offer is actually not allowed. So this is why the harm of translation, what he understood from the Arabic, he translates. While an offer, you can't. Like Hajj, you cannot come and will you marry me? Can't do that. Can't make an offer. I'll pay you this. I'll take you to the moon and back. And make an offer of betrothal or hold it in your heart. Either say to her or keep it in your heart. Allah knows that what you cherish them in your heart. What you cherish them in your heart, but do not make a secret contact with them except in term honorable. So don't come secretly meet her, nor resolve on a tie of marriage till the term prescribed is fulfilled. Now he's saying
contract, not
contract. Yeah. Now in Arabic, Allah knows that you will remember them, you will always, think of them, but do not make any secret meeting with them unless you want to say something important like your land need this or your car need this or children or whatever, something they need to know, and is known that's nothing to do with proposing. But he's saying to the men, وَلَا تَعْزِمُوا عُقْدَةَ النِّكَاحِ حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْكِتَابُ أَجْلَهُ. Do not make a firm decision to marry her until the ajal finished, because it's 4 months 10 days. You might discover a few things, you might have other problems, you might die, you might have an illness, and that will disappoint them. If you make a firm decision to marry, then you also disappoint yourself, because you made a decision to marry her and then you discovered that she had epilepsy and she had a serious illness or she can't have any children anymore, or you discover something which will disappoint you. So do not make any firm decision until the 4 months 10 days passes. And also within the 4 months 10 days, she will realize, I don't need my man anymore. Why I should hold myself hostage to somebody? Like my wife's sister, she said, no, I don't want that man anymore. I don't want to be tied up to, even if I don't cook for him, I will still have to be in the house when he comes in the house, or can't go out of the house if he's in the house and he's not in the mood to go out with me, whatever. So 4 months 10 days she might discover her freedom is really treasure. It's something she's been missing for 20 years or something, and she might say, no, stop, I don't want to marry. Decided to leave it for 4 years. So this is Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَلَا تَعْزِمُوا عُقْدَةَ النِّكَاحِ حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْكِتَابُ أَجْلَهُ. Somebody took that clock from there, and I watch always. ممكن.
It's behind the curtain, but there's no hook. I was trying to find a hook.
It's okay, leave it, Marwan. There's 5 minutes left in our lesson. Yeah, it's too small.
You can put it on your desk. It was on the desk before. I moved it over there too.
I brought home at night a clock here, and the reading on the ceiling, and this big. So we see it at night,
I had one like that, and then the numbers start to go. So you'd have like half a number or something.
وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نُفُوسِكُمْ. Allah knows what really goes inside your mind. So be careful, be aware, and make effort to not to try to cheat. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ. Also Allah is forgiver and forbearing as well. He gives not blind eye, but he's let you off a lot of mistake you make. ولا جناح عليكم إن طلقتم النساء ما لم تمسوهن أن تفرضوا أو تفرضوا لهن فريضة. Now is another rules. There's no harm for you if you divorce women before you touch them, before you sleep with them, and you could have also not mentioned how much the dowry, the mahr is, which said here Imam Shara is saying that you don't, from this ayah, you don't have to decide on the nikah night how much the mahr. But the risk is that it will be decided, if things go wrong, will be decided how much an average girl of her age and social status in education take. So if the average girl take 5,000 and 5,000. But if you decide, it's better. But if you don't decide and you divorce them before you touch them, there's another ayah, you have to give them half the mahr. And you have to give them maintenance and up to your ability. وعلى الموسع, the one who has the ability, he should give up to his ability. It's not like, if he married somebody who's from poor background, your family only eat fish and chips every day and rice and things, and it costs £5 a day, while your family usually costs you 20-30 pounds a day. You treat her at your level. So but if you don't have, وعلى المقتر قدره متاعا بالمعروف, you need to give them that. حقا على المحسنين, it's obligatory and to to those who want to do the right things. The problem in Britain that there's nothing called maintenance. She take half your money and take half your wage and take half this, half that.
That's optimistic.
Yeah.
70%, 80%.
Yeah, if they have the children, they give them more.
Even if her own.
Yeah.
She argued that her career is jeopardized.
Yeah.
And they take.
There's one in Boston in South Lincolnshire, a GP, and the judge decided that she takes half his money. And she was living with her lover 3 days a week, because if she lives 4 days or more, the money stops. So he was working hard and giving her half his money, and she took the house, and she's enjoying her life. So he took a gun and shot her dead. So he went to prison, life imprisonment. She is dead. I don't know what happened to the lover, but that's a system which only leads to disasters after disasters. But in Islam, there's only limited.
There's a big debate that they have at the moment, because many people, they divorce their wife after 40 years marriage. They give them 4 months kind of.
I had a sister who wrote to me, "Oh, not fair, whatever." I said, in Islam, you are expected to carry on working. The husband cannot stop you working. He cannot dictate. If he doesn't want you to work, he has to pay you, to look after the house or something. You have to divide, because 50-50. You need to do half the work at home and the work outside. She does half work inside and work outside. If she chooses not to work and rely on the husband all the time, and she ends having no assets, no saving, only the husband's income, and if that stops, then she is in a mess.
Yeah, but men complain about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then men complain about that as well if they want to work and not do the household stuff.
Not in the Quran, because we're talking about people who want to apply the Quran. Like I was saying in the khutbah today, now we're talking about Muslims who apply Islam, apply the Quran. Apply the Quran. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ. They have obligation as much as they have rights, and the husband have obligation as much as they have rights, half. And the man has only the job of being up and ready to help. وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ, which is the Qiyamah. So here, طَلَّقْتُمُوهُنَّ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَن تَمَسُّوهُنَّ. This is what I said the area before. فَلَهُنَّ نِصْفُ مَا فَرَضْتُمْ لَهُنَّ. If you divorce them on the nikah night without going to bed, there's no wedding, then they take half the mahar. Unless إِلَّا أَنْ يَعْفُونَ, they don't want the half mahar. I don't want you anymore. I hated you. I never knew that you are like this. Off you go. I don't want you owe you money. Off you go. And she doesn't want to take the half. Or أو يعفو الذي بيده عقدة النكاح, who is the husband, who is the one who said, I'll marry you, I قبلته, and then he could leave the whole mahar. If he's, okay, I gave you the mahar, take it, made mistake, I didn't know that you are conservative, I actually wanted labor wife or something. Sometimes they leave each other for silly things, if I knew you hate Mercedes, I would have not married you. People have silly things. وَإِن تَعْفُوا, talking to the man and the woman, أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. The one who forget about it, just, okay, if we go, don't worry. I want to marry again. I'm still, it took me years to collect the mahar. If you take the mahar now, I can't marry for another 10 years. He will say, okay, take the mahar and marry somebody else. Or he says, I have a lot of money, you have a lot of dreams, and you build your future and things, and you thought you're going to marry me, and I'm going to take you to America and the Philippines and Australia, and this. Now I disappointed you. Keep the mahar and go on holiday to Philippines, just let me go. I changed my mind. So it could be either, but Allah Azza wa Jalla always work on you being easy going. The Prophet ﷺ said, Rahim Allahum Ra'an. I always say it to my children, my wife, we had this recently, Allah Azza wa Jal is merciful with the one who is easy to buy, easy to sell, easy to argue. Okay, you are right, okay, just forget it, sorry about the argument, and let's move on. We bought a microwave, there's a small dent in it. I said, okay, Never mind, small dent. Oh, my wife, I always see it. There's a dent. There could be some damage inside. No. So it was a nightmare to send it and bring another one instead. And turned up that our microwave the previous one wasn't damaged or anything. It was the fuse. There's loose wire. So, and subhanAllah, Allah wants this electrician to get 40 pounds from me, because I removed the socket and I tightened all the wires. I thought it must be loose wire, but one I couldn't reach. That one was loose. When he came, he opened the socket. Oh, that loose tire. That's a But Allah wanted them to have 40 pounds. He came, took him 5 minutes, loose wire, tightened it up. Both microwaves working now. So, samhan is abah. Samhan is easy to buy, easy to sell, easy to argue. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. We'll stop for 5